What if you became a Roman legionnaire for just one day? Imagine yourself as a hero carrying the weight of an empire stretching from Britain to Egypt on your shoulders. The glory of Rome is held by its legionnaires, and in their hands is the fate of the world. Forget about dry stories and facts. Today you will feel every breath of this life, every step in the rhythm of war and achievement, where wealth and death go hand in hand, where one wrong step can be enough to say goodbye to everything. If you are curious about what the life of Roman soldiers was like, do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel, because there are many more interesting stories ahead. Our hero, Lucius, is an ordinary young man from a poor family, who, overcoming fear and doubts, sets off into the unknown. He is only 18 when he signs a contract and joins the army. What awaits him on the other side? Reward or death? Those who take risks can receive land and wealth after their service. But will they live to see it all become theirs? Thanks to the reforms of Gaius Julius Caesar, Lucius receives 900 denarii a year, 9 gold coins, which are enough for food and the necessary equipment. But does this satisfy the ambitions of a young soldier? The spoils of war are where the real riches lie. And how tempting this can be for a young legionnaire. When he stands in the same ranks with others, he knows that every battle can bring him entire estates, slaves, gold and jewels. And although every soldier dreams of these spoils, he should remember that not everyone will return from the campaign alive. Only 60% will live to be demobilized, and the rest? They will die in battle, die of wounds or from disease. This is the price of military glory, which is inherent in every battle, in every loss. But Lucius is not alone in this world. His contubernium is his family in war, his closest comrades who not only fight with him, but also become brothers. They serve together, train together, shared food, tents and danger. Each of them has a share of what gives life, but also a share of what can take it away. And even in peacetime, when they rebuild bridges or collect taxes, they are united by a common goal: to survive, become strong and bring glory to Rome. Each of them holds each other by the shoulders. The fate of an entire army depends on them. But life in the army is not only about fighting and military operations. Rest is also important. After hard days of service, when the battles are behind them, soldiers indulge in gambling. Dice games, bets that determine your fate, this is what they spent part of their time on. But even here, not everything is simple. Someone wins, someone loses, and those who do not have time to collect their winnings may be left without everything, even their own equipment. And if Lucius or his fellow soldiers are injured, they will not be left without help. Roman medicine, based on the best knowledge and practices of the time, is capable of saving lives even after the most terrible battles. Doctors and medics in the army were very experienced, and even ordinary legionaries had basic knowledge of first aid. There was a special group of doctors medici, who performed operations and treated the wounded. Importantly, the Romans not only treated external wounds, but also actively tried to preserve life even after the most serious injuries. Sometimes they used special medicines, such as herbal decoctions, compresses, and ointments. In addition, each legionnaire was provided with his own first aid kit, including bandages and wound cleansing products. However, even with the best treatment, the chance of survival after a serious injury or illness was not guaranteed. But the main task of Roman doctors was always to fight for the lives of their soldiers, because each legionary was an important element of a huge fighting machine, which it was important to keep in top condition. But is all this really worth the price paid by the legionaries? Lucius signed a contract for 20 years of service. And if he lived to demobilize, he received land, a quiet life, and perhaps wealth. But can we call this a real deal? Is it worth the losses, the risks that lie in the path of each soldier? The Roman army had a clear structure that helped organize the soldiers and ensure effectiveness in battle. The legion, the main unit of the army, consisted of about 5,000 to 6,000 soldiers. The legions were divided into smaller units, centuries, which included 100 soldiers, and manipuli, consisting of 2 centuries. Each century was led by an experienced commander, a centurion, and behind the legion as a whole stood a legate, who was responsible for strategy and making key decisions. This allowed the army to be extremely flexible and effective, able to respond to any threat in time. There was close interaction between all units, and each soldier knew his role in the fight. In every battle, in every step, in every decision, Lucius writes his own story. And even if this path leads him to death, his every step will be part of the great history of Rome, which he lives, breathes, and fights for. Write in the comments how you imagine the life of Roman legionaries, and whether you would agree with